Space! What's one of the biggest reasons that people have such a hard time moving forward with their plans? They've got the plan, they're excited about it, they want it, they can see it, and yet they still keep getting stuck. Why? Space. Creating the space in their day, creating the space in their life to start bringing in new things. See, if new things, the things that you want aren't coming into your life, take a look at if you even have the space for it. Think about having a house and you've got a giant couch right in the middle of the room. And then you bring in another couch that you got off of Craigslist. Then you bring in another couch that you found on Facebook Marketplace. And pretty soon you've got another couch, and yet you can only fit it in the garage. Why? Because you don't have any more space for it. You can't keep taking things on when there's not enough space to put it there. The same thing is true in your schedule and in your life. If you don't have the space for the things that you want, you're not going to be able to attract them and to have them in your life. So when we're talking about creating space for things, that can mean several different things. Number one, it can mean time. Because a lot of times people say, I want to be successful. I have the plan. I'm just not executing it because I don't have enough time. I've got a job. I've got family. I've got things that I want to do to just be able to relax. And I don't have the time to focus on my project the way I want to. So the question starts becoming, well, how can you modify your schedule in order to make space, in order to make room for that time that you need to work on your project? Because otherwise the options are you make room and push some things out to the side to make room for your project, or you just never take action on it at all and end up regretting it later on. Which one do you want to do? See, we can move things around to create that space. If we need to create the time, if it's important to us, we can create that time. We can create the energy that we need in order to start making that project work for us in the time that we have available, because we've made space for it. Sometimes that might mean waking up a little bit earlier. Sometimes it might mean going to bed a little bit later. Sometimes that might mean cutting out TV or making sure that your meals are prepped so you don't have to waste that time every single time you need to make a meal. Sometimes that might mean cutting your social media time down or not even looking at social media at all. It might mean turning off all of your notifications or even putting your phone outside of the room just to make sure that you're not distracted. And in that, you've made space to be successful. Now, this can also mean your relationships. Are your relationships allowing you to have the space that you need? Do you have the space in order to welcome in new people? So if you're constantly hanging out with the same people that are not interested in your project, they're not interested in helping you, they do nothing to move you forward, and you're sitting here going, man, why am I having such a tough time moving forward? You say, I don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of. I don't have anyone to collaborate with. I don't have anyone to help me. Well, it sounds like you need to make space for those people. So if you are clogged up with all sorts of people that don't move you forward, they're constantly asking you if you want to go out to the bar. They're constantly asking you for help moving something. They're constantly asking you for help for whatever it is, and they're not helping you move forward. Sometimes those are relationships that you need to cut out of your life. Some of those people might just bring your stress level way up here, and you just say, okay, I can't bring new people in with all of this stress and all of the drama that I've got from this other person here. So you push them out of your life. You make space so you can have those new people there. You make space with your time. You make space with your relationships. You can even make space with your money. Sometimes that money is going to be, I need to save this because I've got a specific part of my project that I'm going to need additional funds for. Rather than saying, I'm going to go out and eat today, and I'm going to eat out tomorrow, and I'm going to eat out the next day, and now, wow, what do you know? I don't have any money left, right? If all of that money is already dog-eared for something else, it's going to get spent. But in order for you to make that space, you might have to cut out some things that really don't make much of a difference anymore. Whether that's cable, and you go, I don't even watch TV anymore, but yet I'm still paying for it every single month. Whether that's some iPhone game that you just keep paying for month after month after month, if it's reoccurring, and you go, I don't even play the thing anymore, but yet I'm still paying for it. How many different things do you have on automatic payment that you either use so little that it wouldn't matter if it was there, or you even forgot about it and you just keep paying for it month after month after month? See, being able to create the space, being able to create the time, the energy, the place that you can be successful, that's what starts moving you forward. If you're feeling stuck, you've got to ask yourself, do you even have enough space in your schedule to bring in new clients? See, one client I was talking to, he says, I'm having so much difficulty just making sales, just bringing people in and having new clients. And I said, well, what does your schedule look like now? And he was working a regular 9-to-5 job. He's trying to get his business off the ground. And you realize, well, working a 9-to-5 job is going to make it a little more difficult because the times that you can coach are literally outside of those hours and on weekends. And some of those people might not be available at those times. And especially when you already have a couple of clients, trying to get more in with even more limited hours makes it really, really difficult in order for you to bring those clients in. You don't have space for them. You don't have room in your schedule for it. But if you want it really bad and you can swing it, you've got to make the room. At a certain point, even if you're working a 9-to-5, if it gets to that point that you have enough clients that you can relatively cover your income, that you can relatively cover the bills that you have, and you have the space to take on more clients, now all of a sudden you've got a spot to build from. Because if you've got clients that want to be part and want to work with you, and you don't have any space for them, there's a couple of things you can do. But in order to bring on more clients, especially if it's a time thing, if you're coaching them and you need a time frame in order to coach them, you're going to need to create more space. Now, having more clients than you can handle is a great problem to have because that means you've got income coming in, you have a waiting list of clients, and you have the ability to start raising your prices because there's already more demand than there is supply. So that's a great problem to have. But start looking at all of the places that you can start downsizing, let's call it. You can start being a minimalist. What are the areas of your life that you could cut out and it wouldn't really make that much of a difference? Whether that's eating out routinely, whether that's watching more television than you would like to, whether that is having conversations with people that just create drama and stress in your life. Where are the places that you can start eliminating those things that would make life easier, make your projects more fun to go after, and give you the time and the space for you to really do something magical? Realize that just by needing that space doesn't make you a bad person. As a matter of fact, it makes you a better person because you're focusing your attention on one thing rather than trying to give your attention to 15 different areas. And when you focus on that one thing, you start taking steps forward every single day to make it a reality. And that's when you start living your dream and doing what millions of other people can only wish and hope for. Because those millions of other people out there, it's not that they don't want to live their dream. It's not that they don't want to have the freedom that you're going to have. It's that they haven't created the space for it. They've got too much stuff going on in order to start welcoming in the new stuff. So just like our house that's full of couches, like I said before, if you've got a house that's just full of stuff, picture hoarders, and it's a house just full of stuff. In order to bring in anything new, you got to get rid of all of the old. You got to let it go. Now that I think about it as well, creating that space could be forgiveness as well. And that could be forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for things that were completely out of your control. Forgiving yourself and forgiving other people for things that they did against you that just didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. Maybe it soured the relationship a little bit and you've been holding on to that for a long time. That bitterness makes it to where you can't welcome love into your life if you're holding on to bitterness and resentment. You can't welcome good things in if you're still focused on all of the horrible things that happened. This is where making space is the most important thing that you could possibly do. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this makes sense to you and you're going to start making space in your life and creating a life that you truly deserve. I will see you here tomorrow. You will see me here tomorrow. And until then, take action now.